Good morning. Happy Thursday. We have almost made it through the third week of digital learning. So I am so proud of you. I know you're working so hard. I know that you're checking in every day. I can see you logging in, and I appreciate that so much. I'm very proud of you. I love you and I miss you. It was so good talking to you yesterday on Zoom. I loved hearing your stories, your jokes, seeing you smile, seeing you laugh. I love seeing you at your house. I think that's so fun. I loved hearing y'all play the piano and the keyboard. That was awesome. I'm planning to every Wednesday have a Zoom at 11 o'clock. I think that will be really good for us to stay connected, and that way if you have any questions, you can have them prepared. You can write them down so that you can ask them. I think it's a lot more organized on Zoom than it was on Google Meet. Again, remember, you can ask questions on Padlet, on Google Classroom. You can send me an email. Your mom or dad can send me an email. I'm there for you anytime you need me. I check it all the time, all day long. So just if you have a question, please, please, please let me know. If you are really having a hard time with either, a math lesson or a writing lesson or something in reading, please let me know and we can have a Zoom meet, just me and you. Or maybe if there's a couple friends that have told me that they're having a really hard time, then we can do a Zoom meet, just a small group. So I'd love to do that, especially if it's something in math that you're just like, because I know math is a little tricky when I'm not there with you, especially because we used to meet in groups every single day. So I know that can be really tricky. I know that writing can too, because usually I'm there checking in with you and making sure that you're on the right pace and on the right track. So I'm trying to kind of look at your Google Slides and make sure you're doing what you need to do. So please be sure to do your writing on the Google Classroom, okay? So you go to classwork, and then you're going to go to fairy tale writing, and you click on that, and there's like slides, and you should have already planned out and created or thought of the change that you wanted to do for your adaptation for your fairy tale, okay? And if you need some help with that, we can meet with a Zoom for that, okay? So don't feel like you can't ask Miss Brunin to meet with you privately or with a small group. If you need to, write me a note on Padlet, write me a note on Google, have mom or dad send me an email, and I'll be happy to meet with you whenever, okay? So don't be afraid to do that. Plus, I love to see your little faces. Okay, so let's talk about our day. In reading, you will have finished rereading the story, and you are going to read, you're going to answer questions 7 and 8. Some of you have already done it and you've already turned it in. Totally fine. Some of you are still working on it. That's fine too. Some of you haven't started the questions, but it's Thursday and it's due tomorrow, so you probably want to go ahead and do that, okay? It's really hard to do all of those questions at once because they're long, okay? Make sure you're restating and you're going back in the text as needed, okay? In math, you are going to be watching a mini lesson, and this mini lesson is something new. You are going to be finding the missing side length, okay? So you're given one side length, you're given the perimeter, and you have to figure out what the side length is that we don't know, okay? So watch the mini lesson. It's very good, and then make sure that you go and answer day 4 in your Google Classroom sheet. If you've already turned it in to me, make sure that you go in and look at my comments. Some of you need to change and correct some things, okay? Make sure that when you go back in to change them, that you go through our G Suite and you are logged in on our e-class. That way you can go back in and make your changes, okay? If you haven't turned it in to me, that's fine. It's not due until until Friday, and so it's okay. Okay, you work at your pace, you do what's comfortable for you and your family, all right? Just make sure to watch those mini lessons because they are very helpful. This is something new. We haven't learned this, and so I want you to make sure you're really thinking about what you're doing. If you need to meet with me privately, again, let me know and I'll be happy to do a little lesson with you, okay? In writing, like I told you before, with Miss Moon, you're going to be doing another mini lesson, and she is gonna kind of talk about writing your introduction, okay? So you should have already on the first slide written your plan. Then you went through what was your change going to be. Okay, because remember, an adaptation of a fairy tale, you have to change it so that it's your version, okay? So you had to pick either the Three Billy Goats Gruff or Little Red Riding Hood. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna go on to, I think it's, the slide that says Scene 1, okay? And that's where you are only writing your beginning today. Okay, so remember the big beginning is where you're setting your scene. You talk about the who, the what, the where, and the when. So the who, all right, who are your characters? You're gonna kind of introduce them. The what, okay, what's going on? The where are you? Are you in the woods? Are you in a castle? Are you in the forest? Are you at the beach? Okay, where are you? When? Okay, is it summer? Is it fall? Is it at night? Is it in the morning? Okay, is it in the past? Is it in the future? Okay, is it in the present? So that's where you kind of set that scene up. And remember, fairy tales start with something very common every single time, the same thing. Once upon a time. And so that might be really fun to start out with that, just because that's very common in fairy tales. So you're more than welcome to start with that. Okay, so you can start it with once upon a time, and then you kind of go on. But remember, you're only doing the beginning, okay? So just that first slide, Scene 1, okay? And then in science, you are going to watch the regular Brain Pop on camouflage, and then you are going to take that quiz. So this quiz is a little bit harder because it's the regular Brain Pop and it goes a little bit deeper. So you might have to think a little bit, but that's okay. You can watch the Brain Pop a couple of times and then go and take the quiz if you need to, okay? Make sure to visit your specials. If you're not able to get to your specials, you can save that for another day, because I know sometimes by the end we're kind of pooped and worn out. So you can save that for another day or another time, okay? Again, it was so good to see you and talk to you on Zoom. Plan on doing that every Wednesday. If you need to talk to me privately, or if you'd like to do a small group with others, please let me know. I'm more than happy to do that. If you have any questions, always ask Ms. Brunin. I'll answer them anytime. So I'm starting a new read aloud tomorrow. So this is a new book. It's a surprise. And I mean, not tomorrow, today. And I will put it on there at 1 o'clock. You know, sometimes these computers get a little crazy, but I'm going to try and make sure that I upload it in time for you to see it at 1 o'clock. So I can't wait to see it. I'm so excited. I miss you. I love you. Ask me any questions, and